B. Today I'm talking about the fourth installment of the X-Men series, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now this film revolves around Logan, Wolverine, and showing how he got his adamantium claws and healing power, and also explaining to us, the audience, how he lost his memory, explaining why how he lost his memory, why he could get his visions. So anyway, let's begin. X-Men Origins Wolverine opens with his two kids in the bedroom, basically this little kid who's sick, this other guy, the other kid's doesn't like him. The older guy's name is Victor, and the younger guy's name is James. And then they both hear the screaming downstairs, and then basically this guy, who's actually Victor's father, kills this other guy who's James's father. Then James gets angry and finds out he's actually a mutant as well. He doesn't know it yet until now. They're claws, they're wooden claws, and then he kills that guy, but finds out that Victor's dad is actually his dad, and James is actually Victor's brother. So they both go, and then on a run, and then goes to them being older. And as it turns out, James is actually Wolverine. Who knew? And then we also find out that Victor is actually Sabretooth. But then also, because Sabretooth actually, I guess the same as Wolverine / Logan, his name's actually James. Sabretooth kills this guy, and then this other guy, he gives Logan and James technically, and Sabretooth, or Victor shall I say, a choice. You can either go to jail, or you can come with me and join this organisation, because of mutants and stuff as well. So they decide to join with them, and with them, in that organisation is a few characters, one being Blob from, if you see the TV show, the cartoon, or read the comics, is a bad guy. He's fat, but it's not. This one is normal, he's skinny, he's built. Also, there's one of my other favourite ones called Deadpool. He's got literally samurai swords. He's not actually a mutant, but yeah. There's another guy who's the same as Deadpool, but it's like a normal agent, but guns, normal guns. Also, another one is this guy who's got powers of same as Nightcrawler, teleportation. So then what happens after the mission? Everyone separates. James is with his long-term girlfriend, as it turns out, who's just magically introduced, which is pointless. And then what happens is there's this been in the newspaper. There's these killings of those people who actually joined, who were in that organisation, and that person that's killing them, as it turns out, is actually Sabretooth. No idea why. And that same guy that actually gave James and Victor the option, he's the guy that sent Wolverine, sent Victor. So what happens is as well then, after everyone gets killed, then basically James's girlfriend gets killed, yeah, and then he's to Victor, why'd you do it? I mean, him being James, and there's a fight, and then James gets his wooden claws basically destroyed. So then he goes to hospital and basically still injured. So then he says yes to being experimented on, the adamantium thing. Yeah, and then the guy's to him, if you do this experiment, yeah, you're not gonna be called James anymore. You'll be now known by a different name. Logan, shall I say, the Wolverine. So he goes to the experiment and he gets killed for a bit, and he wakes up and has the claws, adamantium claws. That explains how he got the the claws, yeah, the adamantium claws, and then he also escapes, and then goes hiding in his hut, the farm. This elderly couple who lost their son, So they give him clothes and his son's jacket, which is actually very iconic in the world, X-Men world. So what happens is then basically the guy with the gun, he kills the couple. So Logan kills that same guy. He also finds out that he's got the healing powers as well. So then he looks for that teleportation guy. James looks for him, and they look for Blob, who's now literally fat. So Blob then tells him about this guy who escaped. The one guy escaped from Genosha. Genosha being that place where, Sabretooth, meaning Victor, kills these mutants and takes them to Femitron or something. Yeah. So that guy's name who escaped, his name is Gambit. So he's Victor's there as well. The teleportation guy fights Victor, but Victor kills him while Wolverine and Gambit are fighting, and then Gambit eventually agrees to take him to Genosha. They do, but then they find out that James's girlfriend is actually alive and is just being used. So what happens is Wolverine, he fights this guy who is actually that same guy who experimented on Wolverine. That's his son, as it turns out, who has everyone's powers. Also, along with the people who got taken or alive, but powers taken, kind of thing, used or whatever, or copied. That person, one of the people is actually, her name is Emma Frost, who's just got introduced. She has the power of telekinesis plus this diamond form. Another guy is actually Scott Summers, the Cyclops, but that's when he's younger. He's a teenager. He gets taken, so then powers copied as well. So Wolverine fights that same guy, like I said, but Victor saves Wolverine. There's one person who's actually has the privilege of killing him. That's me. Saying that to James, saying that he's gonna kill James. He goes, yeah. So then they fight, and then kill the guy, and the thing explodes. Wolverine's girlfriend gets killed. She gets shot. So Wolverine not just has himself get shot, with a bullet, an adamantium bullet, which is explains how he lost his memory, but also Wolverine shoots that same guy who loses his memory as well. So Wolverine, when he loses his memory, he goes to Gambit and says, "What's my name?" He's like, "Your name's Logan, Wolverine." And then also you've got Professor Xavier, who's bald and can walk somehow. It's actually him, a lot older, adult, as you see in the X-Men series. And I'll explain next week in my next X-Men video that I do next film review for it. Like I've said in a few of the other videos of X-Men, how he's able to walk. I'll explain it. And then also Scott meets Professor Xavier, starts to join him. And then also, because you also get told about the Xavier Institute, which is a place for mutants. So yeah, and eventually that guy at the end, it ends with him like I said, having his memory lost. He other people say his name, and he's like, what? And the film ends. Now, what I like about it, it explains why he's lost his memory, how he lost it, why he has his visions, and explaining how he's got his claws and stuff. And I like to see as well, I like how they also got how Sabretooth why he attacks Wolverine in the first film, explaining how he knows Wolverine, how basically Sabretooth knows Wolverine because of their brothers, as it turns out. And also I like how they introduced Scott and also Wolverine, also Professor Xavier in a cameo as well. So that's good. Also, it's good to also see the Blob as well, not as a bad guy, but as a good guy. It's yeah. Also, I never noticed it, but I liked, when I didn't notice it, I didn't know about it at all, or none of the other ones probably either, about like this guy, about that guy's son who got everyone's powers. You know, him, yeah. Like the claws and stuff, yeah. And like basically everyone's powers. I like it, it's good. Now, for what I didn't really like about it was that they introduced like Logan's girlfriend, who's just like, you know, just there. I mean, just pointless having her there. I mean, she's kind of a useless person to be there. No offense to all those Xmen people who saw it and liked it, but you know, or haven't seen it. So you know, that's my opinion. So you know, now my overall review for this film is 9 out of 10. I thank you guys for watching. Remember, leave your comments below on what next film I should review. Remember, tune in next week. I'll be reviewing the 4th installment of the X-Men series, X-Men First Class. That's all for now. Tune in next week. Hassan signing out. Bye.